Before we begin this evening, we have a wonderful young lady by the name of Chloe Hutchinson, who is a 7th grade student at R.K. Smith Middle School. She's going to lead us in prayer before the pledge this evening. Let me tell you a little bit about Miss Chloe. She's a member of the R.K. Smith Beta Club, their track team, and their basketball team. So we welcome you, Ms. Hutchinson, and thank you for sharing your time and your prayers with us this evening. Following the prayer, we're going to ask Mr. Art Oakland if he would be so kind as to lead us in the pledge.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Heavenly Father, thank you for the continued gift of education. Bless each and every one of your children to grow in knowledge daily. Thank you for continuing to guide the leaders of our school district as they make the decisions needed to fill the high expectations of this parish. May each student continue to gain the knowledge necessary to become competent citizens of this community. Help each one of us fulfill our destiny. I ask that you continue to bless the school year for every employee and their families. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you again, Miss Chloe. That was wonderful. We appreciate your prayers and blessing, and we wish you a tremendous last quarter of this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I call to order the St. Charles Parish Public School Board meeting for Wednesday, April the 21st, 2021. This evening, we have 6 board members present. We have 2 board members that were not able to join us. We're also joined by our superintendent, Dr. Ken Ortling, our board secretary, Ms. Shelley Babineau, and Ms. Anissa Colley-Stive, who helps us out by stepping in when Ms. Babineau's not able to join us. So welcome, Ms. Colley. We appreciate you, Ms. Stive.
And happy birthday.
And happy birthday. And happy Administrative Appreciation Day. It's just a big day all around. Okay, now, we're going to move on now to resolutions and proclamations. Item 2.01, the 2021 National School Nurses Week Proclamation. And I would ask, please, if Mr. Dennis Nakan would read that one for us.
Madam President, it would be my honor. National School Nurses Week Proclamation. Whereas students are the future, and by investing in them today, we're ensuring our world for tomorrow. And whereas families deserve to feel confident that their children will be cared for when they're in school. And whereas all students have a right to have their physical and mental health needs safely met while in the school setting. And whereas students today face more complex and life-threatening health problems requiring care in school. And whereas school nurses act as liaison to the school community, families, and healthcare providers on behalf of children's health by promoting wellness and improving health outcomes for our nation's children. And whereas school nurses support the health and educational success of children and youth by providing access to care. And whereas school nurses are vital members of school-based teams. And whereas school nurses understand the link between health and learning and are in a position to make a positive difference for children every day. And whereas school nurses have served a critical role in improving public health and ensuring students' academic success for more than 100 years. And whereas the COVID-19 pandemic has emphasized the essential role school nurses play in students' health and academic success. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish School Board, in conjunction with the National Association of School Nurses, hereby proclaim May 6th through May 12th, 2021 as School Nurse Week in the St. Charles Parish Public School System. And Madam President, I move that we approve the National School Nurse Week Proclamation.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Nakan and a second by Mr. Robichaux. But before we vote, I'm going to ask Dr. Ortling if he would like to introduce our nurses to us, our healthcare workers.
Sure, and actually I'm going to ask Ms. Jerry Smith, Executive Director of Student Services, to come up and say a few words about our true heroes of our school system this year.
Good evening, board members and superintendents, and thank you for this special privilege to say a few words of recognition of our amazing school nursing team. Each year it is an honor for me to say a few words of recognition to our school nursing team, but there's something about this year of COVID and so much uncertainty, that I'm especially honored for an opportunity to recognize them as our St. Charles Parish Public Schools first responders and heroes. Tonight, we have many nursing positions in their ranks. They include our school nurse coordinator, our specialty services nurse, school nurses, school nurse paras, and even a COVID nursing team. These courageous St. Charles Parish Public Schools first responders have gone above and beyond to provide first-class care and support to our students and staff. We celebrate and honor you for the significant contributions you make every day to improve the safety, health, and academic success of all students. Nurses in schools play a vital role contributing everyday care to special needs students while also maintaining the health and wellness in the overall school community. We thank you for the tremendous nursing care that you provide to our students each day. We further acknowledge your heroic response during these challenging and unprecedented times of COVID-19. As I call your name, please wave your hand. Tanya Street, Rachel Dufresne, Linda Joseph, Erilyn Honor, Kendra Jackson, Latanya Pierre, Chrissy Rockefeller, Jan Perilou, Jenna Zarang, Virginia Bertrand, Jessica Hanneman, Lisa Brown, Melissa Bird, Tracy Termine, Iris Pugh, Lucretia Washington, Nicole Shulin, Keely Brown, Jamie Bird, Linda Joseph, Patrice Harris, Anika Singleton, Sonia Robinson, Mary Beth Ricks, Marcy Hunter, Latasha Ingram, Raylene Williams, Charla Brooks, Donna LeBlanc, Naisha Cobbins, Tony Scott, Tayandra Lee, Lindsay Mercado, Sheila Jones, and Lynn. So can we please just give them a hand tonight?
The school board certainly does thank our health heroes. Thank you for joining us tonight and for all you have given to our school system, our children, and our community this year. Thank you. Okay, do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 2.01 passes unanimously. Item 2.02, 2021 National Mental Health Month Proclamation, and I would ask Mr. Art Oakmere if he would please read that one for us.
I'd be honored, Madam President.
Thank you.
2021 National Mental Health Month Proclamation. Whereas National Mental Health Month was established in 1949 to increase awareness of the importance of mental health and wellness. And whereas National Health Month raises awareness of trauma and the impact it can have on the physical, emotional, and mental well-being of children, families, and communities. And whereas approximately 1/2 of chronic mental illness begins by the age of 14. And whereas addressing the complex mental health needs of children, youth, and families today is fundamental to our children's future. And whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States and the 2nd leading cause among young adults. And whereas school-based mental health professionals recognize that early identification and treatment can make a difference in successful management of mental illness and recovery. And whereas public education can encourage mental health and help improve the lives of children and families affected by mental illness. And whereas school-based mental health professionals, through their multi-tiered systems of support, serve and support the social, emotional wellness needs of students. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of St. Charles Parish School Board, in conjunction with the National Alliance of Mental Illness, hereby proclaim the month of May as National Mental Health Month in the St. Charles Parish Public School System. And I move adoption.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Oakland and a second by Mr. Robichaux. Before we cast our vote, Dr. Ortling.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to ask Ms. Jerry Smith, Executive Director of Student Services, to come up and say a few words about some of our heroes in our school system that not only impact students but employees as well.
Thank you, board members and Superintendent Ortland. It's a great privilege to be able to honor, recognize, and just say thank you to this special group of mental health clinicians. Mental health professionals are woven into the fabric of our society, and yet they're often unsung heroes. In the short term that our mental health professionals have been in the district, they have made major strides to infuse our schools with critical and vital social-emotional wellness supports and interventions, not only for our students, but for our staff. Their clinical expertise has supported our district's vision to build a strong, responsive, school-based mental health program. These special ladies have worked diligently throughout the pandemic to ensure that students reach their full academic, social, and emotional potentials. Tonight, we thank you for the social-emotional first aid that you entirely administer to our school community. Congratulations and thank you. I would like to call their names. As I call your name, please raise your hand. Tamika Jasmine, Angelica Martin, Jamie Mason, Christy Jackson, Brittany Wright, and I have to acknowledge Sherry Ward is not here, but she is facilitating a mental health night for parents at Hornville High School. Thank you.
And Madam President, can I also recognize real quick Ms. Jerry Smith? She has not only led our nurses, but also the mental health program. It's always her vision to have a mental health program in our school system, and we sincerely appreciate her work and effort to lead those initiatives.
Absolutely. Thank you. And to our second group of health heroes, we appreciate everything that you have done for our children, for their parents, and for our staff. It's been a very challenging year, and to meet their social, emotional needs in such a fantastic way, we are truly deeply grateful and appreciative of all your efforts. Thank you for being with us. Good night. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 2.02 passes unanimously. Moving on to recognitions. Item 3.01, Board and Superintendent recognition. The Superintendent and I will now recognize some outstanding high school honor band students.
Hornville High School students were named to the LMEA All-District and All-State Honor Bands. Connor Cunningham. and Aiden Meir. Destrehan High School students were named to the LMEA All-District Honor Band. Jonathan Dempsey. And Bryn Equier.
We certainly congratulate all of our honor band students, their parents for their diligence in making sure all these years your children have practiced, and for all of our band leaders who are here this evening. Thank you for all your efforts in joining us this evening. Congratulations to you all. You are free to leave at this time if you choose to, or you may stay and enjoy the rest of the meeting. Good night. Moving on to our business items. Item 4.01, minutes of the March 22nd, 2021 committee meeting, March 24th, 2021 regular board meeting.
Move approval. Second.
Motion by Mr. Robichaux, second by Mr. Narcan. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.01 passes unanimously. Item 4.02, high school counselors and counselor coordinators proposal. High school counselor and counselor coordinator contracts require counselors to work 183 days per year. Currently, extended employment is allocated to pay these counselors to work additional days in the summer to prepare for the upcoming school year. Changing the contracted workdays from 183 to 200 would provide a seamless transition between school years. Counselors would not only complete current tasks and responsibilities to prepare for the opening of school, but would also be available for planning and supporting students, staff, and parents during summer months and into the upcoming school year. This agenda item was reviewed at the Personnel and Policy Committee meeting of the board on Monday, April 19, 2021, and is aligned with Goal B of the board's strategic plan.
Madam President, I move that we approve the high school counselors and counselors coordinator proposal at an estimated cost of $20,000.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Narcan, a second by Mr. Oquin. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.02 passes unanimously. Item 4.03, personnel items. Staffing management is necessary to maintain effective functioning of the St. Charles Parish Public Schools. The Human Resources Department provides a staffing update monthly to the board. This agenda item was reviewed at the Personnel and Policy Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19, 2021, and is aligned with Goal B of the Board's strategic plan.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Tanaka and a second by Mr. Robichaux. Any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.03 passes unanimously. Item 4.04, proposal acceptance, emergency construction of building components and/or grounds. The district's hurricane disaster preparedness and recovery plan includes a recommendation by FEMA to refine the manner in which emergency work is provided after a district-declared emergency. Proposals for emergency construction of building components and/or grounds enable the district to expedite the recovery of funds following the emergency. 2 proposals for emergency construction of building components and/or grounds were received on Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. This agenda item was reviewed at the Capital Improvements Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19th, 2021, and is aligned with Goal D of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move that we accept the proposal from Creative Improvements Incorporated for the emergency construction of building components and/or grounds.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Alexander and a second by Mr. Smith. Do we have any discussion?
I'm going to be voting against it, only because I really believe this contract should be going to an in-parish contractor.
Do we have any further comment or discussion? Please cast your vote. Item 4.04 passes with five votes in favor and 1 opposed. Thank you. Item 4.05, contracted custodial services assignment. Proposals were received from 4 vendors for contracted custodial services on Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. Proposals were reviewed and evaluated by administration based on the following criteria: cost, qualifications, prior experience, references, required information, and methodology. Evaluations were reviewed and contracted custodial assignments were assigned by the Capital Improvements Committee as outlined in that attached document you received. This agenda item was reviewed at the Capital Improvements Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19, 2021, and is aligned with Goal D of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move that we accept the assignments of the contracted custodial services from the, as recommended by the Capital Improvement Committee.
Thank you.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Alexander and a second by Mr. Smith. Do we have any discussion?
Yeah, just for the public's record, this annual contract is approximately $943,979.
Thank you, Mr. Tanaka. I appreciate that.
I'd like to also say in committee we had a lot of discussion on this topic, and I think the superintendent has this understanding that this entire process needs to be reviewed and revised all the way from the way that it's bid out to the way that it's evaluated, the entire process. And I think that was put on the table pretty clearly.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Robichaux. Any other comment or discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.05 passes unanimously. Item 4.06, proposal acceptance, waste management services. Proposals were received from 2 vendors for waste management services for the district on Tuesday, March 30th, 2021. Proposals were reviewed and evaluated based on the following criteria: cost, qualifications, prior experience, references, required information, and methodology. One proposal was deemed non-responsive. The recommended proposal was received from Waste Connections Bayou Incorporated at the daily rate of $501.60. This agenda item was reviewed at the Capital Improvements Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19, 2021, and is aligned with Goal D of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move that we accept that proposal from Waste Connections Bayou Inc. for the waste management services at a cost of $501.60 per day.
Thank you.
As selected, only the days that they.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Alexander and a second by Mr. Nakhan. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.06 passes unanimously. Item 4.07, bid acceptance, child nutrition program, bread and bread products. In order to have the best quality food at the most competitive price, the district sought bids for bread and bread products from 3 vendors, with 2 responding. The bid opening was held on Friday, March 12, 2021. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19, 2021, and is aligned with Goal C of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move that we accept the bids by Flowers Bakery Company of New Orleans and Bread Biz, formerly known as Leidenheimer, for bread and bread products with an approximate cost of $45,000.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Nakhan and a second by Mr. Robichaux. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.07 passes unanimously. Item 4.08, bid acceptance, child nutrition program, milk and milk products, frozen food products, and processed food products. In order to have the best quality food at the most competitive price, the district sought bids for food products. The bid opening was held on Friday, March 12, 2021. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19, 2021, and is aligned with Goal C of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move that we accept the lowest bid submitted by New Dairy Opco LLC, formerly Borden's Dairy, for milk and milk products. Diamond Food Distributors and S&W Wholesale Foods for frozen food products. And Diamond Food Distributors, E-Pallet Inc., and S&W Wholesale Foods for processed food products at an estimated cost of $1,329,797.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Nakhan, a second by Mr. Alexander. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.08 passes unanimously. Item 4.09, bid acceptance, child nutrition program supplies. In order to have the best quality supplies for the child nutrition program at the most competitive price, the district sought bids from 6 vendors, with 1 responding. The bid opening was held on Friday, March 5, 2021. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19, 2021, and is aligned with Goal C of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
Madam President, I move that we accept the lowest bid submitted by Economical Janitorial for child nutrition program supplies at an approximate cost of $200,000.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Robichaux and a second by Mr. Oquam. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.09 passes unanimously. Item 4.10, bid acceptance, small cafeteria equipment. In order to have well-equipped, efficient kitchens to prepare healthy school meals for students and staff, the district sought bids for small cafeteria equipment from 9 vendors, with 5 responding. The bid opening was held on Friday, March 5th, 2021. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19th, 2021, and is aligned with Goal C of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
I move that we accept the lowest bid for small cafeteria equipment as recommended at an approximate cost of $7,279.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Robichaux and a second by Mr. Alexander. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.10 passes unanimously. Item 4.11, bid acceptance, large kitchen equipment. In order to have well-equipped, efficient kitchens to prepare healthy school meals for its students and staff, the district sought bids for large kitchen equipment from 9 vendors, with 6 responding. The bid opening was held on Friday, March 5th, 2021. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19th, 2021, and is aligned with Goal C of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
I move we accept the lowest bids for large kitchen equipment as recommended at an approximate cost of $169,660.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Robichaux and a second by Mr. Oquem. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.11 passes unanimously. Item 4.12, request for proposal acceptance, Child Nutrition Program contracted pizza and delivery service. In order to have the best quality pizza at the most competitive price, the district sought proposals for pizza from 2 delivery services, with 1 responding. The proposal opening was held on Friday, March the 12th, 2021. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19th, 2021, and is aligned with Goal C of the Board's Strategic Action Plan.
I move we accept the proposal from RPM Pizza, known as Domino's, for Child Nutrition Program contracted pizza and delivery service at an approximate cost of $125,000.
Second.
Have a motion by Mr. Robichaux and a second by Mr. Nakam. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.12 passes unanimously. Item 4.13, revised budget fiscal year 2021. The Board approved a budget for each of the various funds on June 24th, 2020. State law, Louisiana Revised Statute 39:13.10, mandates that a budget must be revised when a variance of 5% or more occurs between operational expenditures and budgeting estimates. Prudent financial planning mandates periodic review and revisions of the budget for each fund. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the Board on Monday, April 19th, 2021, and is aligned with Goal C of the Board's Strategic Plan.
Madam President, I move that we adopt the revised general fund budget, the special revenue funds, debt service funds, capital projects, and lunch fund budget. The cost of general fund is $155,794,970. Special revenue funds, $13,158,688. Debt service funds, $10,218,975. Capital Projects Fund, $18,118,750, and a lunch fund of $5,479,805.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Nakhan and a second by Mr. Smith. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 4.13 passes unanimously. Item 4.14, accounts payable for the month of March 2021. Invoices and other financial obligations of the school district are customarily paid weekly. Request for approval of these transactions is normally made to the board monthly. The board must approve expenditures of public funds under its jurisdiction. This agenda item was reviewed at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting of the board on Monday, April 19, 2021, and is aligned with Goal C of the board's strategic action plan.
Move approval of the accounts payable for March 2021 in a grand total of $2,417,845.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Robichaud and a second by Mr. Alexander. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, please cast your vote. Item 2.14 passes unanimously. We now move on to our closing items, and we'll begin with item 5.01, Standing Committee Reports. The chair will hear from any chairpersons who would like to report at this time.
Madam Chair, the Capital Improvements Committee met on Monday, April 19th. There were 3 items on the agenda. All 3 of those items were forwarded to the board meeting tonight, where they all were approved. Those items were acceptance of emergency construction of building components and our grounds. The second item was contracted custodial services assignments. And the final item was proposal acceptance of waste management services. And I'd also like to report on the Technology Committee. Mr. Savoy is not here. He's the chair of that committee, but I'm a member as well as our president. On Thursday, April 15th, the Technology Committee had a tour focusing on the use of technology in the classrooms. It was took place at 2 schools, Destrehan High School and Norco Elementary School. The tour guides were Ms. Stephanie Stive and Mr. Matt Chauvin. We had a wonderful tour, and it was very enlightening, to say the least. That concludes my report.
Thank you so much, and I certainly concur with your remarks about our technology tour. It was fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Alexander.
Welcome.
Madam President, Personnel and Policy Committee met on Monday the 19th and discussed 2 items. The first item was the high school counselors and counselor coordinators proposal. And the second item was our personnel moves for the month. Both of those items came to the board table tonight and were approved. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir.
Madam President, the Legislative Committee met on last Monday. The superintendent and the committee presented to the board a listing of all of the current legislative bills, education bills rather, that were pending before the Louisiana State Legislature at this time. The legislature will be reacting to those bills. They will be going into various committees and hearings will be held. Our superintendent will be in Baton Rouge on tomorrow testifying before the legislature regarding one of those bills. And I'm sure that as the process continues, we will be in Baton Rouge continuously during the legislative session. In addition, the Louisiana School Boards Association will be hosting on May 4th the day at the legislature, and all of the school board members from across the state of Louisiana will be meeting in Baton Rouge and meeting with various legislators to talk about some of the bills before the legislature that affect public education and taking positions on those bills. Thank you for that report.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Madam President, the Finance and Audit Committee met. Mr. Suffren is the chair. I'm on the committee. He can't be here tonight, so I'll give his report. We approved all the bids tonight. We discussed all the bids that were approved tonight, excuse me. Plus, we talked about pizza, even though we didn't eat it. We talked about it Monday night, and we approved that tonight. We also had the revised budget presentation by Ms. Post and Dr. Ortland. Did a wonderful job presenting the budget. And that concludes my report, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. The Curriculum and Instruction and Assessment Committee also met on Monday, April the 19th. We had 2 items on our agenda which were for committee meeting only. The first was the ESSER 2 and 3 funding update that we received, and the second one was the fiscal year 2022 pre-K and Head Start enrollment update, also for committee meeting only. And that concludes all of our committee meeting reports. Therefore, I turn it over now for item 5.02 to our superintendent for his report.
Thank you, Madam President. Before giving my report, I'd just like to provide a special recognition that was passed on the personnel items earlier tonight. Our incoming Chief Financial Officer has joined us this evening, so he'll soon be joining us, Mr. Ronald White, located to your left. Thank you for joining us. You have, as I heard earlier, very big shoes to fill from Ms. Post's shoes, so welcome to the family. Holmville High School's graduation will be held on Wednesday, May 19th, 2021. Destrian High School's graduation will be held on Thursday, May 20th, 2021. Both ceremonies will be at the Pontchartrain Center. At this time, there will be 2 ceremonies for each graduation due to restrictions from the Pontchartrain Center that we hope will change soon. Should any modifications to this plan be warranted, further communication will be disseminated by both high schools. Destrian High School's Ring Night ceremony will be held on Thursday, May 6th at 6 p.m. Holmville High School's Ring Night ceremony will be held on Tuesday, May 11th at 6 p.m. Both schools will host the Ring Night ceremonies in their respective stadiums. Further communication will be disseminated by both high schools. The before and after school child care program will have online open enrollment for the 2021-2022 school year beginning May 1st, 2021 and ending May 18th, 2021. If a site reaches enrollment capacity, enrollment will close prior to May 18th, 2021 for that before and after school care site. Current CDC guidelines and staffing will continue to serve as a guiding directive for determining the number of available enrollment spots at each site. Finally, we are making plans for an even stronger start to the 2021-2022 school year. Yes, we are making plans already for next school year. District administration and over 40 stakeholders have met in committee and subcommittee meetings to determine what successes and lessons we can capitalize on from this school year and apply them to next year's plan. Our plans will again be grounded in mitigating the spread of COVID-19 virus while ensuring students are afforded high-quality educational, in-person, and virtual learning opportunities. We will keep families well-informed once these plans are finalized. Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
if I may take a personal privilege, I understand there's a young man in the audience tonight that's a college student and on an assignment to attend a school board meeting. So I'd like to, on behalf of the board, welcome you and hope you had a fruitful night.
It's Mr. Logan, one of our fine teachers. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Awesome. let me tell you, if you'd like to hear the discussions that go on, come to one of the Monday night board meetings. They last a little longer, but it gets lively. But thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you for introducing
sorry, I
us,
didn't
Mr.
know that.
Alexander. I appreciate
His
it.
name.
Okay, any further comments or discussion?
Move adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Robichaux and a second by Mr. Nakane. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
Good job, Melinda.